Sylvia Hunt, before cooking on TV was a thing, this lady started what generations after followed. And when her family decided to reinvent this cookbook, this gem of a cookbook, if you now hearing about Sylvia Hunt, ask your parents, ask your grandparents, because many of them would have followed Sylvia Hunt's recipes back in those days. She started this, and today, generation of just cooking on TV, but now with the internet, everybody is a foodie. This was the first foodie. And I'm so happy, as I said, to celebrate her today. When, as I said, we were invited to be part of this celebration, I was so happy. And it really brought memories back because, as I said, it was, you would always hear your parents talking about this lady and the impact that she had on generations to come. I decided today, as part of our Mother's May celebrations, to pull a recipe from the book and do my own reinvention. So really and truly, we wanted, you know, I love saltfish. So this sweet saltfish choker and sweet potato casserole is something that we tasted at the launch a couple of weeks ago. And I just decided to do it a little differently. So this is where we're going to just try to reinvent one of Sylvia Hunt's original recipes. And I'm hoping when her daughter Diane tastes it, it will meet her expectations. So really and truly very simple. Boiled sweet potatoes and mash. One of the little tricks to this is probably just refrigerating this mash mixture. Refrigerating it kind of makes it kind of pull together and a lot more easier to handle where it wouldn't stick too much, right? So simple mashed sweet potato. I didn't overseason it, very little salt, pepper, because of the saltfish. I made a little bourgeois that we're going to be stuffing these sweet potato balls with, and I have a breading mixture. So my breading mixture is simple. I have some seasoned flour, salt, pepper, some flour, a little pepper sauce in 2 eggs. So my egg mixture. Didn't even season my eggs because there are layers of flavor that will happen here. So you don't want to over salt it, right? Eggs beaten. And then I have some breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs of your choice. I love panko. Panko has that little bit of extra crunchiness that I like. So, but a nice breadcrumb mixture. And you build what I am going to do as a sweet potato saltfish ball. That little salt and sweet, I tasted it. I'm trying to remember the lady's name now and I'm forgetting, but she was a wonderful, I think I'll get it when Diane and they come on, Diane and Maegan comes on. But she did it, and I just love the contrast between the sweet potato and the saltfish. That sweet and salt is something that I love. So let's get cracking. Let's get this recipe. I'm going to get my fire on. I have some oil. It's a little deep fry that I'm going to do. And all I really want to do now is create a nice flat substance with this sweet potato. And I want to just do a nice small heap of my saltfish bourgeois. When you do the prep, everything could be so easily done. And now is really just to pull it together. What I want to do is to just drop another bit on top just to make it a little easier. I like to make things easy in the kitchen. And just like that, I have a nice golf ball size sweet potato ball. Yeah? Yeah? I'll do a couple more and then we'll get breading and frying. Not that hard, isn't it? So now it's into the breading mixture. First, flour. Roll. Cover properly with the flour. And you just kind of just want to shake off any excess. Don't want it overflowered. These are gentle balls, so you gotta kind of be careful. And then in the egg mixture, toss in the egg mixture, make sure it's fully coated with the egg mixture. And then in the breadcrumbs. And you just kind of roll, make sure all the breadcrumbs roll. Ta-da! One ready to go in the fire. Gotta make sure your oil is nice and hot. Safest way to do it, slotted spoon. And you just dump in one there. Bam. Slotted spoon. It only will take a couple minutes, just about 2 to 3 minutes, until it gets nice and toasty, golden brown type of color. And you will kind of see it just when I'm about to turn it. No more than a couple minutes. So believe it or not, I am smelling the saltfish as the sweet potato balls are frying. Saltfish is such a dominant flavor, as I said. It went so well. I never thought of it, believe it or not, sweet potato and saltfish. I mean, I never thought of it. It's so simple. And it is right here in Sylvia Hunt's cookbook. And when I tasted it, I said, I want to try it. They just kind of laughed at the saltfish bulgur over a mashed potato. And it was like the perfect little bite. So I tried it in a bowl. Let's see how it works. That's what I like about recipes. No one recipe is a science. You can really put your twist, put your tweak on it, and yeah, just make some good food for your family. So you see this golden brown kind of color? That's what I'm looking for. Keeping the balls rolling important because you want to get all the circumference, the surface area done well. And I just want to lay a ball here, another ball. My final plate up, guys. Just a little bit of parsley just to sprinkle. You can serve these balls with a real simple, nice dip. I did just a little mayonnaise dip. Very, very simple. However, whatever type of dip you like. It goes nice with a creamy dip as well. And it is time now, as I said, to serve up my very special guest. The reinvention of a classic cookbook by Sylvia Hunt. If you don't know her name, go and do some research now. She has so many accolades to her name. She is the first matriarch of cooking in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. I think she's the first lady that hit the television screen on a cooking show in the Caribbean. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm standing by that. And she was born, as I said, right here in Trinidad and Tobago. An entrepreneur, a wonderful lady, and she has left an entire legacy, generations. Her family decided that it is now time to reinvent not only the cookbook, but to ensure her legacy lives on. So I'm so happy to have, as I told you to the top, the daughter of Sylvia Hunt and the great-granddaughter, Maegan Sambrano, and the daughter of Sylvia Hunt, Diana Sambrano.
Welcome.
Ladies, thank you very much for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
So it was such a pleasure meeting you both. It was a couple of weeks ago, I think, when
It was last week.
Last week. And when I got the email from Christopher is
My eldest son.
your eldest son.
Yeah, grandson of Sylvia Hunt.
So his daughter,
Son.
that would be her grandson,
Son, yeah.
and you're her great granddaughter.
Yes.
Wow. So you're talking three
Three
generations.
generations. Yeah.
When before you all delve into this little thing, when did the idea come about in terms of wanting to reinvent this cookbook and continue the legacy of Sylvia Hunt? How did it all come about?
It was a promise to my mother. She wanted her legacy to go on, and she made a trust for her grandchildren after her death. So it took a little while to organize and, put things in order. And I asked my son to try and do it before I pass on. So he did oblige, and I'm very grateful to him.
Yeah. So this is literally Sylvia's wishes coming through here.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you feel about this? I mean, this your third generation you're talking about here, Maegan.
I am.
I mean, when you see your dad, your dad, your grandmother carrying on this legacy, that probably puts a lot of weight on your shoulders.
It does, and it was so quick. It happened so quickly because Uncle Chris came down from Barbados and told me about the launch, and I thought it would be happening in a few months, but it was a couple days or weeks before he did it, and now we're here.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of weight on my shoulders, but I'm very excited because growing up with my grandmother, I had a passion for cooking because she would make me cook and she would have me in the kitchen with her. So I would like to reignite that passion for cooking because I haven't really been cooking a lot these days. But with the cookbook, I can now try out some new recipes, and yeah.
So I wanted to try my reinvention. I so love the sweet and the salt with the saltfish and the sweet potato. I loved it. So it was a casserole. So my wife was just telling me actually at the lunch it was an entire casserole. We just took the casserole and we put it into balls. And that's what the whole recipe is. You can really kind of try different things with the same concept, you know. So ladies, would you allow me to serve you?
Of course.
So what we did, so a bowl each. What we did is that we just created a nice little, I would just put a little dollop at the side. Always goes good with a nice creamy dip. Please indulge. Tell me. Saltfish.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Very delicious. I think it did a good job
I did a good job.
reinventing a different style.
Diana, you're making my heart sink. I'm so happy to hear that. So this is kind of what I had in mind as well, you know. So you get that saltfish, that sweet, and as I opened it, you smell the buljol, and it, as I said, it contrasts so well. It's a real lovely dish. Over the years, I never thought simple sweet potato and saltfish.
It's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, I think my mother would be proud of
Oh
you.
my God. Oh my God. We're coming back.
Yeah.
We're coming back. We're going to sit and share a slice with Maegan and Diana. We get to know them a little bit and find out where this whole reinvention and the importance of Sylvia Hunt's legacy right here in Trinidad and Tobago across the Caribbean. Come on back, Copper Joe. We're celebrating moms. You're not a mom yet?
No.
No? She's a mom. And as I said, Sylvia Hunt was the original matriarch of Trinidad and Tobago's cooking. Come on back, guys. Copper Joe, celebrating moms right here on Copper Joe.